Happy first day of summer. Today in the Northern Hemisphere, it is the first day of summer, and I am so glad that you are here taking a few minutes to hang out with me, Krista from Books and Jams. I'm so glad that you're here. Recently, I read a book that had the word summer in the title, and I was like, I wonder if I have more books that I've read or on my shelves with the word summer in the title. Let me tell you, this question that I asked myself sent me on a deep dive, and today we're going to start a little mini series of a shelf spotlight where I highlight some buzzwords or popular title words. I started with the word summer, and I found that I had read quite a few, and I have 6 books on my shelves that have the word summer in the title that I have not yet read. And so I'm going to talk to you about those books today. Then I have 5 more words that once I was done looking up the summer books, I'm like, what about this word? What about that word? And let me tell you, summer is the smallest pile. So I have 6 books here that have the word summer in the title that I've not yet read. And my biggest category, I have 19 books on my shelves. So I think it'll be kind of fun in the comments below to see if you could guess the other 5 words that we will be talking about in the next couple of weeks, months, whatever. I'm not sure how long this will take, but I'm going to start today on the first day of summer telling you about some books that have the word summer in the title. I'm going to start with the books that I have already read and really enjoyed. And the book that got this all started was The Summer of Yes by Courtney Walsh. This is a book that's coming out on July 1st, and I read it early on NetGalley. I actually used NetGalley the right way, and I read the book before it comes out so I could tell you about it. This book was a delight. It involves a road trip. It involves a young, working, ambitious young woman who puts the rest of her life aside ultimately for her work and makes some choices for herself that she is no longer happy with and decides she's going to take herself on a summer of yes. And she kind of ropes this other lady into it with her, and we follow their adventure from there. A bit of a road trip, a bit of a rediscovering of what's important and resetting of priorities. I really loved it. It is one that you will not find any swearing or any open door steamy sexual scenes. There is a bit of a romance, but it is wholesome and delightful, and I really loved this book. Another book with the word summer in it that I read recently is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This one also just came out recently, and I forgot to wrap this up when I talked about the books I read in May. I enjoyed this, not nearly as much as so many other people did. We follow 2 people who discover each other because they both have this curse on them, if you will, that every time they break up with somebody, that person that they broke up with goes on to meet their soulmate. So the guy, I think, posts something in Reddit, and the girl finds it, and they connect with each other and say, hey, if we date each other and then break up, we will then find our soulmate next. So of course, as they date each other and put parameters on what that means and how is it supposed to look, they learn that they really like each other, and it goes from there. I did not 100% love this. There was a lot of language in there that I thought was unnecessary, and I don't love that in a romance book. Why? It's just not necessary. But it was a really good story, and Abby Jimenez does a great job of bringing some deeper issues into her books as well. So it wasn't just a rom-com about these 2 people trying to find their soulmate. Like, there was some deeper stuff going on as well, which I really did appreciate. And then I have 3 middle grade books that have the word summer in them that I have already read. The first Penderwicks book by Jean Birdsall is called The Penderwicks, a summer tale of 4 sisters, 2 rabbits, and a very interesting boy. And this is a book that reads like a classic. I thought when I read it that I was reading a book that was a classic, like that it was much older than it was, but it's not. It first came out in 2005, so it isn't like super new, but it's definitely not a classic. It's a lovely family story, sibling group. They lost their mother recently, and the dad brings them to this little cottage on the manor of somebody else, and the son of the people who own the manor becomes friends with these 4 sisters. It's just a really lovely family story and adventures of these siblings, and I enjoyed that very much. Then we have 3 Strikes Summer by Skylar Schremp. This book was one of our middle grade March book club books last year. We did a book every month, which was a little much for us, but we really enjoyed 3 Strikes Summer. Deals with migrant workers and a family who is struggling and has to follow where the work is, and they work on this peach orchard, and a little girl in the family who really just wants to play baseball. So you learn a lot of the history of migrant workers and migrant farms and unionizing, and there's a lot in the book, but it was also just a fun book about kids wanting to play baseball and how that all worked out. It was a really good one. And the third middle grade book that I read and loved is Summer at Meadowood by Amy Rebecca Tan. She wrote A Kind of Paradise, which I also really liked. She's an author that I'm going to keep my eye on because I really have enjoyed her books. Summer at Meadowood is a camp story. So we follow a young girl who has to go to camp and really struggles while she's there. She has to go work in a garden, befriends the camp director's husband, I think it is, that works in the garden, and just learns about life, and it opens up about some of the struggles at home. And I don't really remember too much more than that about it, but I do know that it happens at camp, and I really enjoyed it when I read it last summer. Now I have six more, of books that are on my shelves that have the word summer in the title. And I'm going to pick one of these by the end of the video. I'm going to pick one of these. I kind of already know which one I want to read this summer, but hopefully I'm going to read one of these this summer. So the first one I have is a Newbery winner, The Summer of the Swans. I don't know anything about this. It's Betsy Byers. We follow Sarah, who's 14, very confused. She wants to fly away like the swans on the lake. Sounds like it's going to be a bit of a family drama. It's very, very short little Newbery winner. This one in 1971. So it's a bit older. A recent purchase of mine is Summer Hours at the Robbers Library by Sue Halpern. And I do think this is a mystery. I can't even read the back because of those stickers that are on there. In this little library that has become the heart of the small town, Kit, Sunny, and Rusty are drawn to one another and to a cast of other offbeat regulars. As they come to terms with how their lives have unraveled, they also discover how they might knit them together again and finally reclaim their stories. So maybe it's not a mystery. Maybe it is just contemporary. I'm not really sure. Literary fiction? I don't know. Curious, but it sounds like we're going to have a fun cast of characters, each dealing with their stuff. I'm going to save the one that I think I'm going to read until the end. I have three then that are from my Christmas book exchange cart. This one sounds really fun. The Lost Summer of Louisa May Alcott by Kelly O'Connor McNeese. This one follows Louisa May Alcott in the summer of 1855. She's 22, bursting with a desire to free herself from family and social constraints so she can do what she loves most. But she's stuck in a small town in New Hampshire. She meets Joseph Singer, and as she opens her heart, she finds herself torn between a love that takes her by surprise and her dream of independence as a writer in Boston. The choice that she must make comes with a steep price that she will pay for the rest of her life. I love Little Women. I have been to the Alcott House in Concord, Massachusetts, and it's one of the best museum houses that I've ever been to. The docent there, the guide who took us on our tour, was fantastic, and it was so informative and interesting. So I'm very curious to learn more about Louisa May Alcott's life there. Then we have another historical fiction, The Summer Country by Lauren Willig. This is an author I don't think I've ever read from yet, but I see her name on historical fiction books all the time, and I'm very curious if I will like her. This one takes place in Barbados. So we got the Caribbean going on here. Barbados in 1854. Emily Dawson has always been the poor cousin of a prosperous English merchant clan, merely a vicar's daughter. Everyone knows the family's lucrative shipping business will go to her cousin, Adam, one day, but when her grandfather dies, Emily receives an unexpected inheritance. Peveril's, a sugar plantation in Barbados, a plantation her grandfather never told anyone that he owned. So then she goes with her cousin and his new wife to Barbados. She finds what is the remains of the plantation. It's a burned out shell destroyed in 1816 when a rising of enslaved people sent the island up in flames. Rumors swirl around the derelict plantation, and so she's got to figure out what to do. I'm curious about that. Sounds interesting. And then I have a World War I historical fiction, The Summer Before the War. This is a bit of a chunker. I know this one takes place in World War I, time period 1914 in England, East Sussex. Edwardian summer, everyone agrees the weather has never been so beautiful. Hugh Grange, down from his medical studies, is visiting his Aunt Agatha, who lives with her husband in the small, idyllic coastal town of Rye. And then a new teacher shows up. Beatrice arrives with one trunk and several crates of books. It's clear she is significantly more free-thinking and attractive than anyone believes a Latin teacher should be. For her part, she's mourning the death of her father, who left her penniless, and she just wants to be left alone to pursue her teaching and writing. But then as she arrives in Sussex, things don't quite go as planned. So it sounds like maybe a little romance going on there too. And then the one that I do want to read this summer came out last summer and was on my anticipated reads list last year. And it's The Summer of Songbirds by Christy Woodson Harvey. I believe this is another book that is set at a camp. And we have 4 friends who reunite. I don't know if there's a camp reunion or if they just reunite on their own as friends. The camp is about to go under or be disbanded or sold or something. And these 4 friends come together and are going to try to save the camp. I believe that's what's going to happen. Nothing is more important than Camp Holly Springs. When the women learn that their favorite place is in danger of closing, they band together to save it, setting them on a journey that promises to open the next chapters in their lives. Unforgettable celebration of summertime freedom, camp crushes, and enduring sisterhood. I really want to read this. I love books that are set at a camp. I grew up going to a camp every summer and absolutely love it. And so I definitely want to read this one this summer. Maybe I'll bring it when I go up to north to my mom's house because we will probably go out to camp a few times. So maybe I'll read it while I'm out to camp. That would be kind of fun. So this is not necessarily a summer book recommendation, but these books all literally have the word summer in the title of them. So I thought it would be a fun way to kind of kick off the official first day of summer, talking about my summery books, plus the few that I've read already. I would love to hear if you have any books on your shelves other than these that have the word summer in the title. And if you have any guesses about what other words I have a lot of books for. 6 is the smallest amount. So in the next one, we'll go up to the next buzzword for the number of books on my shelves. You know what I mean. It's going to be fun. Little series here going on for the summertime. And we're kicking it off with these summer books. Let's chat in the comments below. I would love to chat with you down there. And I look forward to talking with you in another video very soon. Bye.